Hello, hello, hello again. This is exciting. Double dose of Chat with Cat today. If you didn't catch my live from this morning with the amazing Emma Holmes, then please just check back in replay, because we had the most amazing conversations about reality and pivot points and making change and choosing choice and all of those amazing things that make us creators of our own reality. And this is what I wanted to just jump on and talk to you about this afternoon. Now, if you're not aware already, which you probably should be, and I hope that you are, next Tuesday, the 25th of October, I'm starting hi Christina, I'm starting a 5-day BS Alchemy Adventure. And it's just €22, which works out about £20 sterling and about $21. That's all. And what we're actually just going to do is 5 days of really paying attention to your now and where you are right now. And in your now, what your beliefs are about your now, and what your beliefs are about yourself, and what your beliefs are on what you want, and what you are actually weaving into your reality right now. This is the most important thing that any of us can ever do, is to actually take time to stop and really pay attention to how we are creating our world and our life. Because we do have choice. We do have choice. There is always choice in every single moment. There is always choice. And that choice can be of how am I reacting to this moment? That is one of our fundamental choices. No matter what's going on out there, no matter what fuckery of the world is going on out there, we always have this moment of choice of how am I wishing to be in this moment? How am I wishing to be and react? And what energy do I want to put into the world? How do I want to create my reality based on my nowness? And so this is one of the fundamental things that the Crew My Spirit Collective have taken me through over these past years, where I have been taking ownership of my truth, of my wants, of my, in fact, needs and desires. And what is it that I feel I'm here? What is it that I feel I want to create in this world, from me into this world, into, you know, the hearts and minds of everybody that I want to meet, just by being me? And that's the simplicity of this, is knowing that in every single moment we are creating a vibrational frequency that we are putting into the world that is changing the world. So if you just imagine how you walk through the world is how you are creating the world. And it's as simple as knowing that if I am in a grump and I'm going through the supermarket in a grump, every single person that I meet is going to look at me and get a little bit grumpy. How many times have we walked around a busy supermarket and everybody's bashing into each other, and there's no, you know, you're not being courteous and kind to each other, and there's no smiles, and we have this reality of knowing that who I am is being reflected back to me. We all know that. Anybody who's listening to that, we all know this. And this is one of the fundamental things that is going to be talked about a lot more through the crew and through this work and through this alchemy adventure that we're doing next week, is something that they call reality chasing. And what I want to do is just talk now about what reality chasing is, because reality chasing is like the antithesis of being in the present moment. It's the exact opposite of creating and being an active creator of my world. It's this moment where we get into this state of needing to know the future. I need to know the future before I can take any steps towards the future, because I don't know where the future is, and therefore I don't know where it is I'm supposed to be going. And right now, so many of us are in this state where we know that the world around us isn't necessarily in the perfect alignment with who we are, because we're all awakening and expanding and becoming these evolved and awakened versions of ourselves. Day after day, we are literally accelerating ourselves through our focus into show me more of the moreness of me, which is what we're all kind of doing right now. We are inviting in new potentials and new possibilities. But the humanness of us, this human, kind of wants to know the future. And let's be honest, hands up if you have ever been to a psychic reading, tarot card reading, and you just are at that point of just somebody tell me what the future is going to bring for me. But can you see how disempowering that is? Can you see how that's not being a conscious creator of your future in any way, shape, or form? Because all we're actually doing is saying, somebody give me an outcome and I'll know where I'm supposed to be going. But what we're in now is a world where the vibration has shifted away from, and most of us are feeling this, away from, I want to be told what to do. That's what's breaking down right now. That's what's shifting. That's what's moving. That's what's leaving the room. And you can see that everywhere. These old establishments, these old beliefs, these old ways of being, they're all being broken down. And us, as the awakened and the aware people here, we've all still got work to do, let's be honest, but we are aware of our own selves. And all of us here now are looking out at the world, and our human still wants to know what the future's going to be, so that we'll know what we're supposed to be doing now to get there. But that is completely disempowering. That is going back into the energy frequency of what has been, everything that's behind us, and choosing that to create our future. And that's not where we want to be. That is not how this world is recreating itself in the new. That's how we're perpetuating the recreation of the old. It's reality chasing is the humanness of us getting rid of these old bullshit awarenesses of, I need you to tell me what my future will be, and then I'll know what I'm supposed to be doing. Honestly, fuck that. That is not how we are here to create this new world. So, hang on one second. I'm getting an awful lot of messages. I just want to make sure that we haven't got a technical squirrel going on. Oh no, we're okay. No technical squirrels. Good. So hopefully we're okay. You know those moments where you get like bing, 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 bing. Like, oh, something's maybe gone wrong. But anyway, hopefully you can all hear me. And thank you for coming on live if you're listening to me live. And thank you for watching me on replay if you're watching me on replay, because these touchstones of coming back together with people who are aware is nurturing for our souls. It's so important that we do these. We keep coming back. We keep remembering ourselves. We keep coming back to these moments of, yeah, this is my truth. Actually, I need to just hear some more of this reality, because the reality of what has been is very prevalent. Like, we are the first ones who are choosing to look at creating reality differently. Like, this generation, there is so many of us, like right now, that are aware of our abilities as conscious creators. And I was reminded of something earlier on today. A friend of mine who's no longer with us, bless her, she left me a little book. It's called The Tao of Pooh. If you've never read it, it's the most beautiful, glorious little book. And in it, if you're a Winnie the Pooh fan, it's just glorious. In it, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet have heard that there's this mythical creature living in the forest called a heffalump. And they're terrified of the heffalump, but they don't know what the heffalump is. They have no idea what it is. They just know that there's this thing that's called a heffalump. So they decide they're going to go and trap it. And they want to go and trap the heffalump so they can figure out what it is. You see a bit of a theme there? Isn't that the way that our thoughts work? Isn't that the way that we're constantly processing the world? I think there's a thing over there, but I don't know what it is, so I'm going to go and see if I can trap it, and then it will tell me what it is. But there's another level to this as well, where they're talking about digging a pit, and they have this cunning trap of digging a pit, and they say to each other, where should they dig the very deep pit? And Piglet says the best place to dig the pit would be somewhere where a heffalump was, just before he fell into it, only about a foot further on. So isn't that the most adorable thing? So as a really amazing visualization of this reality chasing and how we're tied into these old patterns and old beliefs, and we think that that's how we need to create forward. Just listen to that again. Piglet said that the best place to dig the very deep pit would be somewhere where a heffalump was, just before he fell into it, only about a foot further on. So do you see how we're kind of programmed to always want to know the future? Our humanness wants to know the future. We're constantly in this recreated pattern of, I need to know where I'm supposed to be going, so then I can do the thing that will get me where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. And it's exactly the same as this story of, no, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet digging a hole, but they need to know where the heffalump's going to be so that they can dig it a foot further on from where he's going to be so that he will fall in it. And it's just genius. And then there's lots of other little stories around that, you know, about why would he fall into it? And then they've got all of these other things and other stories and other bits of reality based around what they think this heffalump is, that they don't even know what the heffalump is, and what would make the heffalump fall into the pit when they've dug the pit that's a foot further on from where he's going to be, so that he'll fall into it. So I want you just to think about that now, of how you and me and humanity itself is creating our future based on looking outside of ourselves for messages of, where am I supposed to be? What is my future? What is it that I'm supposed to be knowing now, so that I will be able to put the things in now that will get me to the place where I'm supposed to be then? So how do we flip this around? How do we get out of these old patterns of, you tell me my future, somebody tell me my future, and then I will know who I'm meant to be to fulfill it, to fall into that, to get to that place? But that's not where we are now. That is not how we are consciously creating our future. We are in a situation now where so many of us are aware that we can actually choose in the now what it is that we want to put of ourselves into the world to create our steps forward. We're no longer using these old patterns of looking out into the future, no longer looking to these old patterns of somebody else tell me who I'm supposed to be, somebody else tell me my future. Reality create my future for me, and therefore I'm just going to walk towards it fast asleep. That's not where we are. We're all of us now in a space where we can reality create through our own knowing of who we are, what we want, and what we want to create more of in this world. And so that's why this entire journey of this 5-day BS Alchemy workshop is literally looking at now. It's like looking at a whole review of the now in really, really simple terms. I mean, this is not rocket science. This is not going to be something that overtakes your entire week. It's literally like a message a day to make you think and feel and understand your nowness of now, so that this creating of reality starts to come through you and from you, rather than from the old pattern of outside of you. This reality chasing of chasing the reality that I'm supposed to be, and therefore backtracking to who do I need to be now to get there. It's entirely different. This new frequency of creation is entirely different. It comes from here. It comes through us. It comes into our owning our expression and our truth of ourselves. That's where this new reality comes from. And that's why I'm so excited to do this work. This is how, we as teachers and creatives and guides and visionaries, this is how we're changing the world. Each one of us simply making a simple choice to choose to create from here is literally changing the world. Because what we create and put into this world through the vibration of our own truth, of our own knowing, of our own presence and vibration of what I am here to be in this breath, means that every single person we meet therefore comes into contact with that vibration, comes into contact with that new way of being an active creator in this world. And that really is the truth of the simplicity of this frequency shift that everybody's talking about. This move of dimension everybody's talking about. It is simply this reconfiguration of where am I creating my reality? And where we've been is I'm creating my reality based on what is outside of me and what other people have already created, so that I can fit into that, because I will know based on what is ahead of me and somebody who's told me my future will be. Therefore, I know who I'm supposed to be to walk towards that. That's the old paradigm. That's the old collection of beliefs. That is the old pattern. That's the old blueprint. And what a lot of us now, so many of us, millions of us now, are doing is we are reconfiguring our day-to-day. We are reconfiguring our creative force. We are reconfiguring who we are. Just look at how many of the people that you know and love are choosing to live life differently now. There are so many of us, visionaries and creators, and even if we are working in the structure of what has been, we're doing it differently. We're doing it in a way that brings more of the moreness of ourselves into our day-to-day. And so this world is shifting, because the change that we put in now will accelerate, will be added on, will be built upon by the people coming after us, and then reality will have chosen in the solidity as well as in what I'm doing right now. So we're literally weaving our piece of the world, our piece of the tapestry, and then that piece of the tapestry is building into an entirely different vision for the future. And it's all coming from here. It's all coming from in us, through us, for us, and from us. That's what we're creating. And so I would love to invite you to have a little think today. And remember that story of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet trying to catch the heffalump, and where they're going to dig the very deep pit is going to be where the heffalump will be, only a foot farther on. And just think about how much of your life you're creating from that space of, I need to know what the future is, and then I'll know who I'm meant to be. And then just take a breath and go, oh, that's really interesting. Look at that. Look what I did there. And then say, is that really what I want to perpetuate? Is that really me being a conscious, active creator of my reality? Is that me being a conscious creator of my life and world? And that's as far as you need to go, because that awareness itself will have changed your life. So if you would love to join me, I would love to see you next week. We're starting on Tuesday. Everything just drops into your inbox. There is no need to be anywhere. There's no time limits on it. There's no structure in a way. You can be in whatever time zone. You're not going to miss anything. And what you're going to do is you're just going to get an email every day with a little video, which is a recording of a channeled introduction to the theme of the day from my Spirit Collective, The Crew. And that will be an expansive vibration in itself. And then there's going to be a little nudge from me as the human me, talking about the fuckery of life and how we can integrate more of this understanding into our world as humans here. And it's literally a very, very affordable price. So it's 22 euros, which works out about 20 pounds sterling or $21 the last time I checked. So it's okay. You can invest in yourself for this little bullshit alchemy 5-day adventure, and I'd love to see you there. So if you would like to join me, I'm going to, as soon as I get downstairs, I'm going to put the links to that in the comments. If you're watching me on Facebook, you can go over onto my Facebook page, and there's been an awful lot of talk and other posts about this during the week as well that you might be interested in. Or if you're watching on YouTube, then I'll also have the link over there for you. Thank you ever so much for everybody who joined me today. Gina and Anna, bless you. Thank you ever so much. Faze and Mandy, bless you. And Christina, thank you ever so much for popping on live. And if you're watching me on replay, pop me a little comment in there and let me know what this little Winnie the Pooh story adventure and reality chasing chat has opened up in you today. Huge, huge love. And bye for now.